Hi, welcome to So You're a Pastor's Wife YouTube channel. Are you a new pastor's wife? This is just for you, for the new pastor's wife. Welcome to our club. I've been a member of this club for 45 years, and God's taught me a lot in those 45 years. I hope some of the things I have to share with you today will encourage you and help you on this journey as a pastor's wife. You know, the best thing you can do as a new pastor's wife is find an older pastor's wife that you respect and love, who will encourage you, who will pray for you, and who will give you sound advice. I encourage you to find someone older in this position who will help you. You know, one of the first things I would tell you as a new pastor's wife is to walk into your church committed to loving the people. You know, there are going to be a few old rascals in that church, but I just encourage you to win them over. Love them so completely that when you leave that church, they're going to be sad that you're gone. I think the greatest thing I've learned as a pastor's wife is love is a commitment and not a feeling, because feelings come and go with actions, but love is a commitment, and I can be committed to loving and serving the people. So I encourage you to have that kind of love for the people in your church. The next advice I'd give you is forgive easily. Are you going to get hurt? Probably. That's just the aspect of being a leader. And God has called you to lead. Even as a pastor's wife, you're a leader in the church because your husband's a leader. And God tells you to be a helpmate. So link arms with your husband and lead together. But forgive easily when offenses come. You can stay mad, you can stay offended, and that only leads to bitterness. And a bitter pastor's wife is not pretty. I encourage you, forgive easily. Have I been offended? Yes. I can remember one piece of mail I got that was anonymous. And when I got that letter, I fell to my knees and said, God, I forgive. I forgive, I forgive. I don't even know who it is, but I forgive them. And there are going to be times when your husband is hurt and you want to be angry. You want to lash out at everybody. You want to tell everybody exactly what's happened. But I encourage you, fall to your knees and forgive them. Forgive easily. Make your husband and your family a priority. I can promise you on this side of things, looking back, my greatest ministry was to my children. And if I could go back, I would do things so differently. But even then, I loved my kids. I loved being a mom. I loved raising them up and teaching them about God. But looking back, I can say, of all of the things that I did, of all of the ministries I did, my greatest ministry was being a mom and being a wife to my pastor's husband, that he's needed encouragement along the way. He's needed a place to come home and lick his wounds. He's needed someone who's understood and who would step in and pray. So your family is your priority, not the ministries in the church. Can you find a ministry in the church? Oh, I hope you do. I hope you begin learning what your giftedness is. What has God gifted you to do? Do that. You're going to be a God pleaser and not a man pleaser. Find the place where you can serve and serve well with all of your heart. No matter where it is, but find that place and be committed to pleasing God and not men. Find a safe sounding board. I said that earlier, and finding an older pastor's wife. Find a friend that may live in another state. I highly encourage you not to confide deeply in people in your church, because it can become a weapon that's used against you later. But can you have a good friend in your church that you confide in? Absolutely. I found a group of women that was as desperate as I was for a friend and for intimacy. And those women I could tell things to. I could ask for prayer. So I'm not saying it's not possible, but be careful. And that brings me to be as wise as a serpent and as harmless as a dove. The enemy is roaming around like never before. He is attacking leadership hand over fist. I mean, I've never seen the enemy as angry as he is today and desperate to destroy leaders. So be just like a serpent, just be heat sensitive, be aware of what the enemy is doing. Attack him before he attacks you, and be as harmless as a dove to those around you. That your enemy is Satan himself. Your enemy is not people. Remember that. Your enemy is not the people. Your enemy is Satan. Respect your husband and build him up. Your husband needs a safe place to come home to. I encourage you to be praying together, talk together, be able to share everything together. And if you come to a place in your marriage where you need help, find counseling. There's nothing wrong with getting counseling. Get the help that you need, but become each other's best friend and best defender. Let him know that you have his back, that you are on his side, and there is no one that's going to defend him like you. Be his best friend. Laugh over your future. I think it's the Living Bible in Proverbs 31 that says, and she rises up and laughs over her future. That's talking about the wise woman in Proverbs 31. Be able to laugh over what's coming. Laugh over the things that happen that should make you angry or discouraged. Find a way to laugh over those things and recognize this is one of your greatest weapons against the enemy, is to laugh over your future. He wants you to be discouraged. He wants you hunkered down and being fearful. But instead, knowing that God is in control and there is nothing too hard for God. His arm hasn't been shortened. He is as powerful today as he's ever been, that you can laugh over your future knowing that God is in control. There is so much that is good about being a pastor's wife. There are so many benefits to being a pastor's wife. And there are so many pastors' wives that have been hurt and wounded and have never healed. And they will tell you, run and don't be a pastor's wife. But I'm telling you, this is one of the most fruitful places you will ever be. This is going to be so much fun. I have so many friends just from having been a pastor's wife. There are so many benefits because you're going to grow. I think it's one of those fertile soils that God will put you to help you grow quickly. Are you a new pastor's wife? Man, press into God. Find people who are going to press you into God, and you and your husband press into God. Find your place of ministry and do it with all of your might. Please God. Love the people and be bonded as a family. Let being in the ministry press you into God. You know, people are leaving the ministry, but if you've truly been called, if your husband's been called to be a pastor, God never revokes his call. I encourage you, be steadfast, be faithful, and do it with all of your might. Do it well. Welcome to the club of pastors' wives. I can tell you it's a blessing that you're going to love. Laugh over your future.